House Republicans passed their bill without Democrats. They didn't want to work with us. They have the majority in the House and the Senate. They control the White House. They're in control in Washington. If they wanted to proceed without Democrats, they could do that. I think it's foolish to ignore these tax credits that are expiring. People across the country are about to get hit with big increases to health care costs. We've got to take action on this. And frankly, I think it's been foolish to ignore that while we're in a place of a lot of pain for federal workers.
What do you say, though, to Americans who are looking at this and they say federal workers are being used as pawns in this fight, quite frankly, by both sides?
Look, I think the government should never have shut down. Republicans should not have proceeded this way. They could have worked with Democrats to have a responsible funding deal, a bipartisan deal. And I've been in Washington now several times since the House has been out of session. Mike Johnson's chosen not to have members here. I have no one to negotiate with in Washington. I think my constituents want us negotiating, working out a deal to reopen the government, fund it. I don't want to see federal workers go without pay.
Again, their argument is, look, they have passed a bill that Democrats could come to the table and vote on in the Senate and pass, and the government would reopen.
If they wanted to reopen the government with that bill, they could do it. They've advanced judicial nominees without votes in the Senate from Democrats. They know how to proceed without a filibuster. They passed a terrible tax bill, in my opinion, without the filibuster, and they chose not to do anything on these expiring tax credits. So when they want to, they're certainly in power enough to work without Democrats.
Are you advocating to kill the filibuster?
They should have, and they already have. They don't use it for judicial nominees. They don't need it for budget reconciliation. The administration has a fund they can point to and they can draw from right now to make sure those funds go out, and they should. I don't know why the Trump administration is choosing not to. And let's be clear, the time is now. We should have been taking action weeks, months ago on these tax credits. They're expiring. I heard from people in my district, a couple in their 60s, making around typical income from my part of the world. They're looking at $1,200 a month of extra payments and premiums. Yeah. That would blow up any family's budget around that income level. Congress has to take action here.
Well, and the argument, it's not just about SNAP, it's about federal workers missing paychecks as well. The lines outside of food banks growing longer. Senator Catherine Cortez Masto, who's also voting with Republicans, has said she took the vote because she doesn't want to swap one group's pain for another. Is that the situation that Democrats find themselves in? And quite frankly, could it backfire?
Look, I come back to the fact that Republicans have full control here. They could do this without Democrats. That's how they've proceeded.
They do need Democrat votes in the Senate.
Well, let's argue about that. They don't. They've advanced judicial nominees. They've passed a big tax.
You're calling for getting rid of this filibuster altogether?
Well, they already have gotten rid of it where they want to. They have the votes to change the rules when they want. They should work with Democrats then if they won't proceed on their own. They have full control here. And I think it's foolish to have refused to take action on health care. I was in the military. I know what it's like to be in federal service. I've got friends who are still in and classmates of mine. People are really suffering in this shutdown. We should get the government reopened. Let's have a deal. Let's take action on health care tax credits.